Y'all, welcome back to the Ben Barker Fitness Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Y'all, if you would subscribe to the show, leave a review, and share it with someone that you think it might be an encouragement to or help them in their fitness journey. Y'all, today we are going to be talking about 7 reasons why you should be strength training or hitting the weights, whatever you like to call it. Y'all, but first, I don't feel super prepared for this episode. Y'all, Little Rock, Arkansas, which is my hometown, got absolutely demolished by a tornado last Friday. And y'all, it's devastating and you can't really understand it until you see it in person. And so I was supposed to have a great guest yesterday and it was going to air today, but I just couldn't make it happen because I felt like I needed to be out in the community doing stuff. And that's a point we're going to touch on here in a little bit, and why you should be lifting weights is the ability to get out and help when the situation arises, y'all. So if you live in Little Rock, y'all get out there and help, get to work. This is why we lift weights, so we can get out in real life and use the strength and the energy and the functional strength that we gain in the gym. Y'all, reason number 1 why you should be lifting weights, fellas, is better testosterone levels. Y'all, if you are feeling low on energy, it's like you don't do stuff. You're like, oh, I don't have the energy to lift weights. Well, you got to sit there and think, maybe you don't have the energy to lift weights because you're not lifting weights. And I know that seems counterintuitive, but sometimes you've got to put in the work in order to get the energy and the strength. And y'all, when your body fat is high, your muscle mass is low, you are not sleeping well, you're not going to feel good and you're not going to want to do things. But hear me out. If you get in the gym and you start crushing the weights, your body fat is going to go down, your muscle mass is going to go up, and you are going to sleep better, which is my next point. Y'all, sleep. And this is one of those things, we're in hustle culture, and I'm a believer in hustling. I am not a good sleeper. But let me just tell you this. If you are not working out and you're sitting at a desk all day, you're looking at a screen all day, why do you think that you're not sleeping well? It's because you're not expending energy during the day. Hear me out. If you get up a little bit earlier and get in your workout, you are going to sleep better at night. Y'all, this is just it just makes sense, y'all. If you're expending more energy, you are going to require more sleep. And then better sleep also plays into lower body fat, higher muscle mass, and a host of other things. And better testosterone, our muscle repairs while we are sleeping. We break down the muscle in the gym and then we recover while we sleep. So fellas, hear me out. If you are not making your fitness a priority and you're also struggling with sleep, y'all, put 2 and 2 together. If you start training harder, you will sleep better because it is going to be necessary. Y'all, reason number 3, this is probably the biggest reason why you should be lifting weights, is functional strength. Y'all, dads are meant to be strong. We should be able to throw our children in the air. We should be able to carry them for extended periods of time. Last summer, we went on a big hike to Pedagene, and it's not a huge, crazy hike for an adult if you're in pretty good shape, and the hike down there is pretty easy, but you get down to the waterfall, and then you got to hike back up. And so last year, we have 4 kids now. At the time, my wife was pregnant, and we had 3 kids, and on the way up, I basically took turns carrying at least 1 kid at a time, and at times, I was carrying two kids, and it is a steep climb out of there. And y'all, if you are not in shape, you ain't gonna make it, and you're gonna be taking breaks and it's gonna take forever. And y'all, let me just tell you, it wasn't a problem. Did I get a little tired? Sure, but this is why I train for moments like this. And fellas, let me say this. You should be able to carry your wife. If you can't pick up your wife and carry her over the threshold, there is a serious problem one way or the other. But just hear me out. I will never not be able to pick up my wife. We did a thing, a funny TikTok video a year ago that went viral, where I cleaned her and then I pressed her over my head. I can do overhead squats with her. And y'all, you should make your wife feel light and dainty, and you should have the strength to do that. And if you do not, start hitting those weights. And one of the biggest things here, this is not tooting my own horn or anything like that, but when we got out on Saturday and just all the devastation from the tornado in Little Rock, they're asking normal citizens not to use chainsaws just because they're listen, this is already a state of emergency. We don't need people losing arms and hands and legs. Let the professionals do the work. Y'all get out there and just pick stuff up. And so basically we were following the pros behind. They were guys, there were trees on houses, trees on cars. there was trees blocking the street so cars couldn't get in to do the work that they needed to do. So we're clearing the streets and the professionals are just like sawing these trees and they were bosses. And y'all, I'm just not tooting my own horn, but other guys, there's like two guys were grabbing one log and carrying it together or using a wheelbarrow. And I would lay the log up so it was standing tall and I would squat down and I would shoulder it. And everybody's like, oh, showing off. No, I'm just doing work, y'all. I went there to work and like I could, so I did because it was faster. And so I'm just out there doing work. And this is why we train, y'all. So when the time comes, we can use our fitness outside of the gym to help other people. And y'all, I was getting it. And I'll just be honest, like I was tired, but it wasn't a problem. And this is why we train. Y'all, confidence is my next reason. This is number 4. Confidence is huge, y'all. I'm just telling you, if you're not fit, like you see it in your posture, you see it in the way you carry yourself. And when you see a dude who is fit and is confident, y'all, it plays into every other area in life, how you parent, your wife, your relationship, and work. You know, if I see a dude, you know, who's just all like hunched over, he doesn't look confident. Y'all, when your chest is puffed out, your shoulders are pulled back, and you're standing tall, it says a lot about you, and I think it automatically makes people take you more seriously. And I caught a lot of flack. People were like, oh, when you're fit, you're a target. No, you're not. Like, I'm just telling you right now, like when you have that confidence, you're making eye contact with people and you look like you can do harm, people will typically, there's always exceptions, but people will typically leave you alone. Y'all, being fit and being strong takes your confidence to the next level. Y'all, reason number 5, and this kind of plays into all of them, but better body composition. Y'all, as we're lifting weights, as your muscle mass increases, it increases your basal metabolic rate. So that means you are burning more calories while you're sitting on the couch, and you're burning more calories when you sleep at night. And I know somebody's like, oh, it only raises it like 100, 150 calories a day. Y'all, I don't care. If you think about it in compounding interest, so like even if my basal metabolic rate is only increased by like, you know, say if I'm not training, my basal metabolic rate is I burn 2,000 calories a day. And then when I am training and I have more muscle mass, it's like 2,200. But if you think about that over the course of 10 years, that I'm burning an extra 200 calories a day just living, that's huge and that's massive. And we have to think about it in terms of compounding interest. I'm not talking like one workout, one day doesn't make a difference. But if I do it for 7 to 10 years, it's incredible. And that's what's going to make me an absolute unit when I'm 60 and 70, because I'm never going to stop. And you have to think about it not as like a 30-day challenge, but what this is going to do in the long run. And then y'all, better body composition, y'all. We're going to have less body fat just from having more muscle mass. And that also plays into the confidence that I already talked about. And y'all, when you have less fat and more muscle mass, your testosterone is higher. You have more energy, you feel better, you sleep better. It just all comes in and ties together. This is why we need to be strength training 4 to 5 times a week. I just bumped it up to 6 days a week just because I enjoy it. And my 6th day is kind of like a maybe day. So it's like I like to get it in. But you know what? If it doesn't happen because I'm spending more time with my family on Saturday, that's okay. And I've gotten to the point where I just don't sweat it anymore, y'all. Better body composition. It plays over into every area of your life. Longevity. Y'all, this is reason number 6, and longevity is huge. So it used to be like, aerobic capacity, and like all this other stuff. But in recent years, I'm not going to even point to a specific study, so don't yell at me. Muscle mass is indicative of longevity, okay? So it used to be all about aerobic capacity, but the more muscle mass you have, in theory, if you're doing all the other things correctly, the longer you are going to live. You'll see a lot of people, they'll talk about when they're elderly that they haven't gained weight in like 10 years. And let me tell you why. It's because of atrophy and muscle wasting. So most people aren't strength training, and so they just get frail and weak. And so it's actually not necessarily a good thing that they haven't gained weight. It's because they've replaced their muscle with more fat, right? But if we're strength training and you are strong, all of your joints are strong, surrounded by a strong muscle tissue and ligaments, and you take a fall, you are less likely to throw or break a hip. Y'all, muscle mass is indicative of longevity. you lift, you stay strong, and you are going to live for longer. More energy. This is reason number 7. This plays into all of them. Y'all, you need energy to play with your wives, to invest into your relationship with your wife. Y'all, you need energy to do those things. Y'all, if you don't have time to spend with your wife after the kids go to bed, that's going to be a problem in many facets, in many directions. You need that energy to spend time with your family, to chase your kids around, to lift your kids, to carry your kids. When a disaster strikes your city, that you can get out and help and flip trailers over that have been flipped on top of a car, and pick up large logs and carry things, and just be an important person in your community, y'all. More energy is huge. And y'all, when our body fat is lower and our muscle mass is higher, we are just able to perform at a higher level in almost every single facet of life. Y'all, thank you for listening in today. Those are my 7 reasons why you should be crushing weights. And let me just give you a couple little tips on how you can implement that. So 1, check out a free trial to my free 7-day trial to my daily workout subscription. And I just lay it out there for you. I don't necessarily just like hold your hand like a personal trainer, but this is a great program for someone who doesn't need their hand held, that has a little bit of self-motivation, and I give you exactly what you need to do every day. Let's just say you don't sign up though. Ben, what should I do? Monday, you're going to hit legs. And I'm not talking just leg extensions and leg curls, leg press, and calf raises, and you call it a day. I'm talking squats, Romanian deadlifts, lunges, step-ups, leg curls, kettlebell swings, things of that nature. On your heavy strength exercises like squats and RDLs, we're thinking like 3 to 5 sets of 5 to 8 reps, and you progressively add weight over each set and get heavy. And y'all, your last set should be a struggle. Don't hurt yourself, but hear me out. If you're doing deadlifts and you have a strong back, you are less likely to get injured. Tuesday, you are going to do upper body. On upper body day, we're thinking either bench press or dumbbell bench press, pull-ups, shoulder press, bent row, lateral raises, and then we finish out with the fun stuff like bicep curls and tricep extensions. Wednesdays right now, I'm doing a cardio day. This is the day when we want to knock out some sprints. You could do your sprints as running, on the rower, on an assault bike, on a ski erg, or in the pool, and do some extra ab work that day. Thursday, we are going to do legs again. Again, we're talking like front squat, hack squats, leg press are great on this day. And then again, something like Bulgarian split squats, single leg RDLs, and more leg curls. And y'all, don't be scared to hit a little bit of calf raises and seated calf raises and standing calf raises at the end if you're like me. Friday's going to be another upper body workout. Again, y'all, we're thinking like incline dumbbell bench press. You can superset that with chest supported rows. We'll go to another shoulder press exercise, lat pull downs, or seated rows. I like some single arm rows on the bench. And then again, we'll finish with things like bent lateral raises for the rear delts or band pull aparts, and then like hammer curls and skull crushers. And y'all, that's a great week and an easy place to start. Definitely check out a free 7-day trial to my workout program. Y'all, thank you so much for listening today. Y'all, get out there, get fit. Let's crush some goals and encourage some people along the way.